everybody, it's Kelly with kellyscards.ca, and this is the fifth and final card in my everyday card kit number 6. I have picked out some papers that work really good together, and I've got this great sentiment, wishing you everything wonderful. This is so open-ended. Again, you can use this for whatever you like. And I've taken some strips of paper, I've done some die cuts, and now we're going to put this card together. So to get started, I am going to adhere this strip first because it is under, and I'm just going to use some of my tape runner. I'm going to make sure I get my ends really well, and I want to leave just a little bit of white on this side, and then I'm going to carry my strip all the way up. Any ends that are hanging I can cut off after. So the next piece to put on is this butterfly paper, and again I am going to use my tape runner just to add some adhesive to this strip, putting more on the bottoms and the top. Now when I go to put it in here, I just want to snug it up to the red and make sure that it's even on the top and the bottom. But before I push the whole thing down, I'm just going to push it down on this side closer to the red. The reason being is we have to make room for this to slide under. So I'm just going to add some adhesive to the back of this pink circle here, and we can get it placed underneath. Now to have an idea of where I want it, I'm going to have to bring these other pieces in just to make sure that I have this circle where I want to put it. Because once we put it down, it's going to be harder to pull up. So I'm going to have it a little bit covered by this butterfly paper, and I've got to remember that I need to make room for one more strip. So I'm just going to pull it out a little bit. One thing you're going to want to do is make sure that your lines and your diagonals are upright. And now I can push the whole thing down. Everything has adhesive on it, and I can just push this all down. So I'm going to bring in a little scrap paper, and I'm just going to put some adhesive on this thin red strip. And I really like how this just kind of frames in this area here, these butterflies. So I'm going to add this now, and I'm going to snug it right up. And I really like how that looks. And once we layer on top again, this is going to even look better. You're going to find this sentiment, wishing everything wonderful. I think this is a great sentiment because again, this is so open-ended. You can use this for almost anything. And I'm going to add the adhesive onto the foam, and then we're going to stick this on the back. And I've just pre-cut these circles to be able to fit. I haven't die cut these circles, and you may notice they're not completely circular, and that's because if you die cut the foam, it really pushes the foam down and then you don't get the dimensions. So I just hand cut these, and now we're going to be able to put the pieces more on the card so we can see how this is going to go together. And then we've got our little butterfly that's going to come in here. So I really like that. We're going to have to put this piece down first. I'm going to take my adhesive again, and I'm just going to run it along the outside edges of the strip, and I'm going to bring my card in, and I'm going to line it up with this white edge so I'll see a little bit of this pink or red. And now I've got that on there, I can put this down. And again, it's nice and lined up with this side of the card. And for my last strip, this is going to lay over top, and we're going to use our scissors and we're going to cut into the middle, and we're going to create a flagged end. So all I've done is cut into the middle, and then that center point where I cut up to, I'm going to line with this edge, and I'm going to cut straight up to make half of the flagged end. And there you can see that's the half. And now I'm going to just twist it around, and I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. And just remember, it doesn't have to be perfect. This is cut now, and we can add this. And I'm just going to put some adhesive along here, but I want it a little bit shorter than the blue. So I'm going to have this overhang slightly, and then I'll be able to turn this over and cut the excess off. And I just like the detail that this little flagged end adds. And now our sentiment will come in as well as our butterfly. I'm going to add the sentiment first, and I'm going to bring in again this adhesive, and I will put this on. This is a really, really good sentiment, wishing you everything wonderful. I mean, this could even be a wedding card, a birthday card, really anything. This is a really open-ended sentiment. And then if you wanted, instead of putting the butterfly here, you could add another sentiment here as well. So now the last part is we're going to add the butterfly, and I'm going to bring in some little Zots. And I like to use these for butterflies because they just allow the butterfly a little bit of movement. And I'm just going to bend my butterfly to add a little bit of dimension. And I don't really want to overly cover the words, but I want to make sure that my butterfly is on this blue somewhere. So I'm moving the butterfly around, just kind of get a sense of where I would like the butterfly. I think I'd like him almost straight on and right here so that I can still see the sentiment, but he is predominantly in view because he's over top of this other colored background, and I think that's going to help him pop out. And to finish off this card, I really like to have something in the middle of the butterfly. It just helps define it a little better. So you'll find one single gem, and that is going to go right in the middle. And that just helps define this butterfly. You can also bend up the wings a little bit to give it a little bit of dimension. And I just really, really like this card. I like how layering things in different ways. You can kind of play around with papers and see what looks the best. So this finishes up this 5th card in my Everyday Card Kit number 6 series. I hope you enjoyed the series. Again, I will have the playlist link below so you can watch the entire playlist if you wish. As always, there will be more videos on the way, and I will be making another card kit series in the future. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope everyone has a wonderful day.